Hi, we're the K3, and this is our weekly watch list, where we watch as many K-dramas as our schedules allow in a given week and come back to you and report what we're liking, loving, and dropping.
We cover a lot of shows,
So yes, we do.
So if you don't want to be spoiled, check out the time codes below, and you can skip forward, skip back, come back to us if you caught up with the show.
That's right.
And while you're there, hit the subscribe button because we're so close, aren't we? So close to 1,000 subscribers.
Let's get
Thank
to
you so
1,000.
much. Thank you.
All right, so let's get started with Monday, Tuesday. We still only have one show until next week, ladies, because what starts next week?
Oh, really? Is it your big day?
It's
Finally.
a holiday for Jen. But until then, until VIP starts, it's Tale of Nokdu, which I love.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, that's great.
We watch all these shows, and Wednesday, Thursday is pretty loaded. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is just packed.
Ridiculous.
And Monday is like, I only have one show, and it's just so sweet, and it's so lovely, and their chemistry is just adorable, and I am digging it so much, and I always forget to write down that actor's name, but he's a delight.
Oh, good.
I really like him. Like he's playing the beats of both characters, basically his mother female character and the male like revenge character. I really am just enjoying the fact that he's playing both of them. Like and it's comedic, but he's not playing the woman as for laughs. Like it's funny because it's absurd.
So he's like the perfect man. He's like in touch with his feminine side.
Yes. So he is like even
Well, also,
like
if it's a disguise, then he should be playing it.
well exactly, but that's what I'm saying. Like I think in a
seriously.
lot of shows that we watch, like they play it almost for the comedic effect of a man
yes.
dressed up as a woman.
Oh,
It's so funny. But he while there are moments where you're kind of like he overdoes it because he's kind of way outside of his element. Like it's not.
He doesn't know what to do because he's not a woman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's I really even even in this week's episode, if you saw some of the behind the scenes stuff, and I think you retweeted it or put it on Instagram.
Yeah, we'll put the link
Yeah.
below.
But
there's a behind the scenes
There's
that
a
is
huge.
just.
It's adorable, but even if you watch the behind the scenes, like they were playing it like seriously, like they kind of joked around because it was a little bit uncomfortable because he ended up. It was a kiss. Sorry.
Yeah.
So he ends up kissing the guy who's interested in the. So our love triangle is between two men and a woman, but it looks like two women and a guy. So it's like very confusing. And so to throw him off the scent of figuring out what's going on, he goes up to him and grabs him and kisses him. And it was, and everyone was like, ooh, like shocked because, not because they know he's a man, but because,
woman
because
to do that
publicly.
Yeah.
And it just, even that, while it was funny and our lead girl was kind of like laughing because she knew what was going on and he was afraid she was going to reveal it because that was the whole thing. When she gets drunk, she spills everyone's secrets. And so he's like trying to shut her down. And so I think that's what I'm really enjoying about it. Like it's a great story and it's really easy to watch and it kind of, it's just one of those, and again, one of those shows that's just, there's a kindness there to it, and it's not angry about it, and so I really enjoy it. So I don't have like thick story notes because it's we all know what the story is, but there's just moments and beats that I just have really really found that I enjoy.
Very cool.
Every week I look forward to it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yay.
So yeah. And then there was something else, Marisa, that I think you checked out.
That's right. Over on USA Network. It's not a Korean drama, but the Korean actress Han Hyo-joo is in TREADSTONE. She's one of the sleeper agents.
Yeah.
Nice.
So she's the lead. Yeah.
Yes, a North Korean housewife kicking ass when she gets turned on. But you might know her from Always with who was in that one, Karen?
That was Soji Sub.
Yeah.
And you're wearing the
I'm
shirt.
wearing my Giordano t-shirt.
Nice. I feel left out today. I did not wear a t-shirt. I should.
Oh, I
We should
know.
have coordinated better. We should have all coordinated a t-shirt today.
But she was in Always, she was in W, she was in The Beauty Inside the film. And so it's so amazing and delightful to see her, not delightful, she's like tough as shit.
Nice.
In this kick-ass role on USA. So
And then
It's always fun to see some of our favorite
I feel like
actors
another
Hollywood.
big Hallyu star was going to be in that one as well.
Ooh.
I forget.
We'll have to look that up.
I'll have to look that one up because I remember there was going to be her, and then I don't know if it was like a co-star or something like that. I mean, obviously, if she's in North Korea, she's going to have
Yes.
other Korean. So yeah, but someone was also very excited about that.
Very cool.
Excellent. Yay. Wednesday, Thursday. Where are we at with When the Camellia Blooms, Karen?
I'm enjoying it very much.
Oh,
yes.
we have turned the corner.
Yay.
Excellent.
The show has hit its stride.
Okay,
I
great.
feel I'm enjoying the acting just throughout everybody in the cast. The acting is very, very good. And the storytelling is I finally figured out what the pace of it is, so I've kind of settled into
Nice,
it as
okay.
well. So, and I'm now finally on board with Gong Hyo-jin's character, Dongbik, her character journey. And so she's finally to the point where she's decided, I'm just going to do my own thing, and I don't care what people think. And you're like, finally, we've been waiting for you to
Nice,
make
good,
this
good,
decision.
good.
So, she first showed that when she went into the police station, when, the annoying assemblyman mayor wannabe was harassing her.
Right. And whose
who's-
wife is now defending her in court.
yeah. It's more about the wife figuring out who he is cheating with, which is the troublemaker part-timer at her
Oh,
bar,
really?
which they actually haven't done anything other than go on some dates, but she's milking that for all
Still a no-no.
all the monetary. Yeah, it's still a no-no. But Dongbik is so funny. So this week she decided, well, the way I'm just going to do what I want from now on and live a good life is I'm going to show up to the bar in the morning to start the day in a red dress and red heels. She's walking down the alleyway with all the other restaurants and everything, dragging her little cart to go to the market, and she's wearing a red dress and heels. And I'm like, honey, you work in a bar. You're going to be exhausted in those shoes. But of course, everybody's turning to look like, ooh, something's changed about it. So it's fun. That's fun to watch. And of course, because there's a mystery going on, I can't help but come up with crazy theories.
Right. Always.
Who is the Joker?
Who is
Right.
the Joker?
Wait,
Well,
they're actually calling him the Joker?
yes. So the intermittent murderer, who I don't know if we'd call him
Right?
or her a serial murderer or not, but there's danger lurking around every turn. And everyone's a suspect. Like the past 2 episodes, like everyone starts using the phrase to other people, don't be a joke. Don't be a joke. I'm like, oh, okay. Now you're trying to like show a motive for everybody. Great. But
that's what that was on Twitter. I'm like, I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah, like don't be
Like, what is this? I don't get it.
like in episode 8, everybody said that to
Okay.
everybody else, and it continued into this week's episodes as well. But something's up with her mom. Something's up with her mom. Either the dementia doesn't happen all the time. It's not full on, or she's faking
Well,
it.
I'll tell you why.
Oh.
Because she just hopped over from Hell is Other People, or
Oh, that's her.
what's the name?
That's
What's the other name?
Oh, wait. Hell's Other People. Strangers in Hell.
Strangers from Hell.
Something like that.
Oh, she was in that show too?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
She was the woman who raised all of these murderers. So
Oh,
I think.
interesting.
And isn't she
she's
also
in
Parasite?
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So that, yeah, oh,
Yeah.
I keep your eye on her.
Yeah, for
Yes.
sure.
her name?
Well, I don't. I'm sorry,
She's
I don't
so
have it
good.
in front of me.
She's great. She strikes me as
Minju?
never a docile character.
no.
Even
No.
Hiding
when,
secrets.
even when she was in
Oh my ghostess.
no.
Oh, 100 Days My Prince?
No. She's in so many. She's in so many. She won one of the big awards, one of the big Blue Dragon Awards for Radiant. When she was
when she was in Radiant,
when-
the mother-in-law.
even the mother-in-law. I mean, even there, when she was like
Or
a
the
soft,
daughter-in-law,
daughter-in-law,
sorry.
she
Yeah.
was a softer character. She still was just so powerful.
Yes.
So
I definitely keep an eye on the mom.
keeping an eye
For
on mom,
sure.
and I'm wondering if there's some relationship between the reason why she abandoned Dongbik at 7 years old at an orphanage has something to do with
Of course she did.
the killer. I don't know that she is necessarily, although mom was one of the first people to say, stop being a joke, where you're just like, oh, hello.
Oh, she knows more.
Is that something she picked up perhaps from her spouse? So Dongbik's dad, and she was trying to protect her because she knew something was off about him. We haven't seen anyone who's been identified as that character, but there
What
is.
episode are we on? Oh, we're at 9-10 already.
Yeah, 9:10. So we're starting to,
Okay, we're
and
headed
they
in that
flash
direction.
forwarded again to the murder scene in the black and white. That's pointing to Dongbik being murdered. Still don't know. May not. Maybe it's just somebody with her wallet and bracelet.
Right?
But there's something that keeps coming back every episode, and it's something that what's his character's name? Young-sik is supposed to be doing as a police officer, which is to go out and visit somebody who's complaining about a missing pet or something. Something's wrong with the pet, and I'm like, who is that person? And he keeps saying, no, the Joker case is more important than that. And I'm like,
Duh.
I'm like, I'm kind of
yes.
expecting that to
Yes.
come back around.
Of course.
So we'll see. That's my crazy theory for the show, but I am enjoying it very much.
Okay, good.
Happy to say.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, good. That's great. Because it was a little bumpy there for a couple of episodes.
It had a really slow pace to start, and I couldn't quite feel out where it was going.
But
And
now
the character was really, but now we're in.
We're locked in.
I'm locked in.
Excellent. All right, cool. I watched Secret Boutique this week.
I didn't get to it this week.
And
I enjoyed it. Again, we only had one episode. So it's only the one.
I was wondering what that was about. Okay, so that was 8.
I settled in for like 8 and 9, and they just gave us 8. So I think we're kind of back on. We're back on schedule.
I thought I saw 9 and 10 on
Right?
Viki,
Yeah.
but okay,
No.
all right.
Nope.
No.
I even went to Twitter. I'm like, am I missing something? Is there one missing? And they're like, sports. I'm like, damn it, sports.
So
yeah,
maybe they
so-
were just the placeholders that I thought.
Yeah, so we definitely had the one episode, and it was good. And cracks are starting to form in my love of the show
no.
because I'm starting to
Cracks are
question
forming
like
in your
what's
cracktastic?
yes, like it stopped being cracktastic a while back, but yeah, like I enjoy it, but it's just there's just things where I'm like I don't know what's going on.
Why does that happen sometimes where they kind of stop telling the story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think the biggest thing for there was like a lot of things happened. So okay, let's just I do have notes this week. So I'm trying to figure out what exactly the prostitute and her son that kind of live with our young girl and our cop mom who we still haven't found.
I was gonna say she hasn't been found
Still
yet.
not there. I was kind of trying to figure out what their purpose is in the story because really they're not really driving the story forward in any way, shape, or form. And I've decided they're like kind of this chorus. They're kind of the audience. It's just kind of like it's happening.
They're commenting on everything?
Yes.
Okay.
That was my big thing. Like
There's a Greek chorus.
yeah, like they literally are kind of this Greek chorus of like he's cute. Maybe you should date him. Cut to date. You know, it's like a lot of that. No,
The setup crew.
it's totally that. It's like it's hilarious. Like it's just at first I was like, this is absurd. Oh wait, no, I know what they're doing. Okay. So that was kind of my first thing, but they fill in a lot of like the questions that we have.
Okay.
Like they're the ones that bring us the payphone call, like stuff like that.
Key bit of information.
Right. Like they're kind of like the exposition fairies of the show. Like they just race in when they have a piece of information that has to be delivered, but we don't know how to deliver it correctly. You know,
I don't necessarily mind that all the time.
Yeah,
but.
no, it's not that I dislike them. I just was like this week. I was kind of like, what is your purpose? And then I
like
then it
exposition fairy.
I
That's
kind of
great.
came up with didn't come up with it, but I realized that that's what they're doing. So we've got we now know that Yenam has a secret baby with her thug boyfriend.
Oh,
And there's a
really?
secret baby that's off-site somewhere that, and that's why mom hates her. And,
That's right,
Yeah,
that's
so there's
right.
a lot of that going on. So we got a little bit more of that. We kind of now know what the plan is. And we know that it's, Jenny Jang is trying to obviously take down the family, but to what extent? So basically she wants everyone to end up being so miserable, kind of very similarly to Graceful Family, where
Right.
everyone must
pay.
pay and
Yes.
suffer for it, and then she will destroy them. Like they can't just be destroyed; she must make them suffer and
She
pay.
can't just take away the
Yes.
company and all their money.
Yes, no.
And that'll be
No.
enough.
No,
They
no.
have to suffer while she's doing
And
it.
so, and then I've just also decided that Yenam and her boyfriend / baby
Yeah.
daddy are the worst Bonnie and Clyde couple ever. They're inept.
Yes,
They're freaking
right.
inept.
Right. She can't do whatever she sets up fails.
Fails. As soon as she opens her mouth, you're like, nope.
You can try.
You can try. You can automatically know, well, Jenny Jang's going to fix that.
Yep.
You automatically
There's
know
also
that
a
it's
bit
not
about
going to
them
happen.
being on a television show together.
Oh, yeah, it was a
Oh,
nightmare. It was
yeah,
a disaster.
yeah.
Freaking
Her
disaster.
baby
She's
daddy was
yeah. Oh, it was a freaking disaster,
Yeah.
right? Not because she doesn't plan ahead. It's she's always thwarted.
It's totally
Yeah.
Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah.
She keeps trying.
Exactly. She does. It's Wile E. Coyote times 10. So it's one of those things where you're just it's fun, but after a while you're like, and then she finds out that she's not basically we find out in this episode that our head mom, our mom, basically we find out that Yenam is not the heir of the thing. They find out DNA wise that she's and so she still believes that she's the daughter of.
She's not the daughter she was pregnant with.
But they all told her that it was actually Jenny Jang's father because of that setup. So that's how they got in the house.
Right.
So she always grew up believing that was her father.
Right.
And so we
I
found
see.
out this
So it's her
week.
mother, but
So
not-
now
right,
everybody
not her
knows
father.
that all 3 children are not of the household.
So everybody know?
Not everyone,
No,
but enough
but
people
enough people
know.
know?
That.
Okay.
So that's already starting
That's
to
a
come
lot
out.
of birth secrets.
So many birth
so
secrets.
many.
There's so many. It's hard to keep up after a while. And then, but truly the most disappointing thing for me this week, and this is really where I was like, for real, show. For real?
Uh-oh.
Jenny Jong's husband, who I was raging at the machine about why he would leave his one true love to come back. It's because he killed himself.
What?
Oh, God. There's always a suicide in these melodramas.
So his life sucks.
Oh.
Ugh,
And it's
God.
terrible.
Oh,
And even Jenny Young's like, why don't you just get out of here? Just go. Why did you come back? And he's not even telling her.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
So I was just super bummed out. It was just
the best thing for
It
anybody.
was not. It's just like I was like really show that's you had to
because in terms of writing, that's a
Right?
cop out.
such a cop out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was
Trek of
just
Doom would have been a better
right.
way to get rid of him than.
But I was just like I was super bummed out about that.
Yeah, well.
Wow.
And so that bummed me out. And then, so this week we find out that Jenny Jong's been keeping her own personal family photos. So she picks up a picture of her husband with his family, and she turns it over and she opens it up.
And it's got
In back there are pictures of her with her family and her mother and father.
Oh.
And then she quickly hides them. And then
Jenny
it was-
Jong is hiding things in the back of it.
Right? Yeah, that's what I was like.
So many
really?
secrets.
What? Well, so she does
secret,
it
Jenny
quickly.
Jong's smart.
She does it quickly and puts it away. And the housekeeper sees her do it, and so she goes and looks at it and opens it up and
course.
sees it. And then husband walks in, so the housekeeper quickly puts it away. And so then the husband at the end of this
like the
episode,
domino
right? Like
secret
literally,
being revealed.
he comes out and he's like, "What?" And so I was like, "That's what my note was. Like, why would she keep those pics there? Like, I don't get
That's
it.
not. That seems so.
Like, she just seems. She seems
that's
smarter
the
than
one
that.
sentimental stupid thing. Mm.
So really, was she?
Right.
I mean,
Right.
Oh.
she's not that stupid.
Right.
Oh.
So I don't know.
There's
so
reason for that.
I mean, I mean, maybe I'm hoping that maybe it was
It's
a
gotta
play.
be- yeah,
but
it's
she's
gotta be a play.
She was having a rough. She was having.
Please be a play, because otherwise she's
Yeah.
that dumb and we don't want that.
Like she was having a rough
definitely don't
emotional
want that.
episode, so
Yeah.
I was afraid. I don't know. Maybe she tipped her hand too soon, or she was
having
having
a
an
weak
emotional moment and whatever. I was just like, you got busted by the housekeeper.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
come
think
on,
so.
Come on now.
Well, so hopefully next week
Yeah.
we're back on track with 9
Right?
and 10 with
Yeah.
2 episodes, because so much happens. So
It really does. Like yeah, it was crazy. Anyway,
Alrighty.
those are my thoughts on Secret Boutique.
yes.
And then I spent most of my time though trying to get caught up on Graceful Family.
the other mahjong in our lives.
Whoa.
I did not find time to get caught
Oh,
up.
yeah.
So it's we're done, right?
We're done.
That
We're
was it.
done. That was it.
And
I personally was not super satisfied with it. I know a lot of viewers out
Loved
there
it.
loved it.
And I'm so glad that you did.
Yeah.
Because I think maybe because I binged it, I don't think it's a great show to binge. And I will say this because
Oh,
I got to the
interesting.
point.
Okay.
And how much did you binge?
Well, I kind of skipped through, I think, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then watched 13 through 16.
Oh, okay. I went hard. I went
you?
hard last yesterday. How
many?
So I watched like 4 episodes in a row.
Oh my God.
And then I woke up this morning and hit
wasn't the
2
last
more.
one like an hour 45?
Hour 45.
Whoa.
And so, I mean, I was mainlining Graceful Family to try and get caught up for today. And I just got to the point where I just literally hated everyone. And so I'm thinking that
Sound like
maybe
a binge-worthy show.
No, like I'm thinking like maybe you need that week in between
to kinda-
to forget that you hate them, and then you're like, oh right,
Right, because they're all terrible
They're
people
terrible
making
people.
dumb moves. Actually, what disappointed me was that the confrontation with director Han never really happened, and I was never really clear why director Han was so committed to the MC group.
Yes.
Because she said it's because all of these employees, like the company's
Yeah.
important, but there was nothing I saw in the show that said she took any interest in any
none
of the
in
people
any
working
of
there.
them. All
Except maybe her own team, but
But even then, you
Yeah.
didn't like see her looking out for them or taking care of
No,
them or like
she-
sidestepping something to make sure they were protected. It was
She was doing
just
terrible things
terrible
every like
things.
10 times an episode. So
Yeah.
I'm not really. That didn't ever really gel for me, and it didn't wrap up.
shucks.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was kind of hoping to learn what was the big motivating.
Oh no, it was
No.
simply power. Like
Yes,
it was
okay.
just.
Yeah, yeah.
At least that was my interpretation. And again, I was like
So what she
racing
stated
through
early
it,
on.
so I wasn't really absorbing a
No.
lot.
But the things I did love about the show were the suits.
Oh, her suits were
Oh
amazing.
my gosh.
yes.
Yes. Her suits were amazing,
Some more
like
good
every
ones.
episode. And Im Soo-hyung, her fashion was great. And, she ended up together with...
Did she? I was very confused by that ending.
Woo. Yeah, it was a little
I was
confusing
really
because
confused what happened.
he's now a
wondering
public
if they-
defender, and she went off to America to study law.
And there was like this, now, I'm
right?
not sure if I looked
For how long?
I felt-
3-year jump.
Was it a
3-year,
3-year?
okay.
Yeah.
Like I was,
'Cause
I
law
was,
school.
I was watching it, and they had the big dinner where everyone that kind of was the found
Dinner
family
table,
came
my
back.
God.
Those scenes were some of the best.
So that happened, and then it cut to 3 years later, and I was like, did we set up that she was not staying in the house? Did they?
So who
did I
took
miss
over
some-
MC
Who took
Group?
over? And it took over correct me
Because
if
one
I'm
brother
wrong,
committed
he was-
suicide.
Yes.
The other brother was in prison for a year.
something like that.
I know. So what happened? There was
And
no
Director Han
explanation.
didn't take over?
No,
she
she
was
went
in
to
prison.
and then wasn't our lead guy Lee Jung-woo? Wasn't he the head of Top?
but
and then
then
he
now
became
he's
a
a
public defender.
defender.
I was so confused.
I know. So it didn't.
So that
there
ended
was-
up not mattering at the end.
I didn't. I was
Yeah,
very
or they
confused.
didn't. Yeah, so they didn't tell us what happened there. So that's why I'm a little disappointed
puzzling.
because I didn't understand.
So now, again, Marisa and I blazed through it. So
Yeah.
if we missed some
Please let us
key
know.
piece of information while we were watching this, but you guys were so excited about it that we
Yeah.
were like, we had to get caught up.
Yeah.
And so I'm so glad that it was satisfying for you. I really am, because really, come on, a satisfying ending is that's what we live for in these
Yeah,
shows,
it
right?
is.
So I'm
It
so
is.
glad that it was satisfying for you guys.
Yes.
Okay, so that's Graceful Family. And then we had Extraordinary You.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Well, I was wondering because that was only, let's see. Oh, so now we're through episode 6 hours
yeah.
or
6 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I was wondering
weeks.
where it was going to keep going because that's a lot of episodes that are still left. And I guess, are they slowly, all of them, going to find out that they are in a web comic?
I mean, that seems to be where
that
they're
way.
going. And Haru suddenly has disappeared, so
Yes.
you know he's got to come back. So what is happening with the story?
He will come back, but
Of
it's
course.
good because
Yeah.
I needed her to learn the lesson that you can't screw around with everything and think there aren't consequences.
Right? Like, I think that's kind of
tempt fate.
it's really
Or the writer.
right. It's really
Railing at the writer.
I think that's what's really interesting to me about this whole show is that it's like it's not a real world, but it is a real world, and we're talking about real world consequences. So what is
Yes.
the story? What are the lessons that the actual writer of
Yes.
not our show writer of the comic, but the actual writer of
Drama.
the actual
Right.
drama / web original webtoon. What are they trying? Like, what is the theme that they're trying to get across?
I know. I'm not sure because there's so many tropes in there. You know, our bad boy with his horrible father.
He's so toxic. The father and the
Oh,
son. Like, I
yes.
find them both to be awful. And because it's EJ Wook, though, we're kind of like, yay!
Love seeing him on screen, but like, oh my goodness.
not nice.
Oh no,
Oh, he's terrible.
He's abusive. He's emotionally abusive.
He's emotionally and for physically.
physically, yeah, he's good.
no.
Now he's now physically
There are
abusive.
so many wrist grabs in the show.
Oh,
Yes.
no.
The
Oh,
bad,
no.
yes.
Oh,
they're
no.
So
not good.
I'm asking you guys who have read
my
the web
favorites.
comic, is this part of the web comic and he evolves from that? Because I'm not sure how much longer I can deal with it.
Well, that's
in all
what I'm
honesty.
hoping
Yeah.
that the show writer, and I guess it would have been the webcomic as well, is actually turning this stuff around.
Right?
I'm hoping.
I'm hoping.
I'm hoping.
I
Because
feel like
it-
it's still early enough that it could early enough in
Yeah,
the show.
yeah,
Well,
no,
we hope.
absolutely.
But if it just
And
keeps
we're-
going like this,
right.
then
and we're
it's
starting to
that's
see,
not
and
what's
I
gonna
think we're
happen,
starting
so,
to see like cracks in the Baekhyun character where where Undan-ho is always asking like, wait, this is the shadow. Why are you being nice to me? Like,
I know.
Like there's moments. So I think we're starting to maybe see that that's what's happening.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
he's remembering things.
Oh yeah, and at the end
Yeah.
of this week, he
He
throws
sees
the
the
book
book.
at her
Yeah.
and is like, "This is what you're looking for." Because he really,
guy.
he's a dick.
Yeah.
He's just horrible. And then I think that we had some. What was it? Like so many wrist grabs. That was my. But I will say this: like he's such a dick. But that smirk at that and during the event, I was like
Oh, that at the party?
the party, like his little, like the close up on that smirk. I was like, oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
And then did we not kind of get introduced to a new character that they kept doing a close up on at that party? He was in an all tan like beige suit, and they kept cutting to him as a close up.
I don't remember him.
I feel like yeah. Here's my theory.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes. I like theories.
Here's my theory. Because Haru clearly has non-extra things going on. He's got
Right.
the scar on the hand. He's unbelievably good at the flute.
Anything.
He's really pretty much good at anything, but he was really
Tennis.
good at like, that was like in the thing. But there was a lot of like, someone even called it out, which I think was a tell. Asked if he was from the Chosun era because he's so good at like these very specific things. So, and then the keychain that they found that was buried, that was like ancient kind of a thing. I'm wondering if he is a holdover character from another one of the writer's books.
Oh my gosh.
That would be fun.
Right?
Like a cameo.
I feel like he's somehow something tragic happened and that he always has to follow Undano. So I
Right.
feel like where they are tragic star-crossed lovers in another book, and
he's
somehow they made it into this book.
Or the
You know what
comic
I'm saying?
writer is
Yeah,
drawing the same
right? Like, is there
character, yeah.
something that's happening there? That's
Well, that'd be fun.
because our dried squid was actually reading another book called Flower.
Yes.
And so he was reading a whole nother book that kind of had a lot of the things that our boy Haru was saying, but it was in that book.
Okay.
So I feel like we have like, not to make a Ghostbuster, but we're crossing streams of storytelling. So I'm kind of intrigued by that. a
Yeah,
lot.
that would be fun.
So anyway, but I'm absolutely all on board for it. But it needs the tropey abusive stuff needs to stop.
Just stop.
Yeah, for a lot. But yes, all right. Whew. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. It's a beefy. Our Friday, Saturday, Sundays are beefy.
I'm so behind because I can't fit all
I
of
know.
it
Me
in.
either.
And I was
Me either.
away, and there's no way.
Usually Friday, Saturday, Sunday are light, and that's where I catch up with everything in the week.
I'm like, I have all Friday night and all
Right?
Saturday night, and I'm
A
just like,
lot.
No.
Now, Marisa, you finally found leverage somewhere.
I did. I went off site. I went off the grid.
And
Okay.
It's
Is it-
exactly
is
what
it-
you think it's going to
is
be.
it worth going off grid for?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. That's what I wanted to know.
Oh.
All right, good to know.
Well, you know I love Lee Dong-gun.
You do.
And I loved the original. I loved the American leverage.
Okay.
I think the question for Jen is:
What is the question?
Is Kim Kwan worth going off site for?
The first time you see
really
Kim
really good.
Kwan, he is in an MMA cage
Done. Say no more.
All right.
training.
Oh my.
He really beefed up. Holy
He really did. Well, if his
moly.
Instagram was any indication,
Oh yeah, and yeah, that's a lot of protein shakes.
That's a
that
lot of
boy
protein.
has been.
yeah.
Imbibing.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right.
It's fun. It's a Mission Impossible beginning. It's exactly what you think it's going to be, but it was fun. It was fun. Mhm.
All right, I'll check
right.
it out for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I'll think about it.
Come on, Edong. Gun.
Edong Gun.
Don't disappoint me again.
Oh well, I like him because
I
he's
know you
very.
do.
There's the emotional manipulation.
course.
He's got his son who's got leukemia, and,
And the company won't pay for the insurance. And
It's
not that.
No, he works for an insurance. He's trying to get an experimental drug, but something crazy
right.
happens with the corporation. But anyways, but yeah, so he's not just. We've seen him so much as the bad guy,
Right,
like Seven Days
exactly,
Queen,
yeah.
but he's a little more fleshed out.
Angel's Last Mission Love. Oh, God.
Oh, God, yeah,
this is terrible.
no.
Oh.
But this is much more lighthearted. It's definitely
Okay, good.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Okay.
It's fun.
All right.
Yeah, popcorn.
Yay. Heck yeah, popcorn.
I like popcorn.
And then melting me softly.
I'm still a big question mark about this show. The question
dear.
mark is, well, will it get better? I guess is the question mark. So I full disclosure, now caught up through this weekend's episode. So I'm only through episode 6, and I do feel like the show has hit its stride. But my criticism is like, why did it take six episodes for you to hit your stride? Show people are a little less crazy with their except for 2 characters who are like the kabuki clowns every time, and I'm just like, that's not interesting.
Or is it?
Or I don't.
They keep using it.
I'm an
They keep
optimist.
using it. No, I know.
I can find interesting,
Right.
interesting things. But yeah, I keep having the thought that this material is not good enough for Ji Chang-wook. He's too good for this material, but he looks really great rocking the 90s wardrobe. because he's using all the same clothes that he had 20 years ago. It's fantastic. It's awesome.
I have so many questions.
So many questions. Though I was
Okay.
reading, Drama Milk actually did a review for episode 7 or for 8, and I quickly read that. And her thing was she enjoyed it, and the thing she enjoyed the most is like episode 8 seemed to have no side characters. It was pretty much just the two of them.
So focusing on their relationship.
I think maybe by the time you get to 8,
I'll stick with it.
you can do it, Karen.
I can
you
do
it, Casey.
How to?
Because
For all
he
the
is
G-
Ji Chang-wook.
I'm just super disappointed that I feel like they've sidelined
I don't have anybody to hear.
Oh, Yoon-seo.
Yoon-seo. I feel
yes.
like they've sidelined her and that character. Everything I keep reading, I'm like,
I know you were very much looking forward, and she started off so
Right.
well because she made a decision to participate in the cover-up of their, of the experiment gone wrong,
Right.
and then it gained her, the anchor,
Sure.
the news anchor's chair, and she's a veteran and respected, and so she, has that maturity and that groundedness because she's been doing the news for 20 years. Then he shows back up, and suddenly she starts acting like her 20-year-old, 24-year-old, or 20, however old she was when they were engaged and together. So suddenly you have this grown, mature woman who's acting out like, well, we're meant to be together. It's still, and I'm just like, what? Who are you? So I don't know. I just feel like she completely went to a different. Yeah. So we'll see.
disappointing.
We'll see if when she comes back.
by
around, if that
God,
changes.
we are gonna get a Ji
I'm gonna-
Chang Nuna romance one of these days. My God.
K2 came
Came,
close.
I came really
K2
close.
was really close.
I think there are still people that I'll see on Twitter. I'll be like, is it just me, or in the K2 should he have ended up with like everyone?
Yes.
Everyone is like
Yes.
yes. Like it becomes
So-
everyone like comes out of the woodwork to just answer that because someone has just stumbled on the K2 and everyone has the same thing.
Which is on Netflix now, by the way.
It is on
Right,
Netflix,
yeah,
so find
yes.
it. That's,
So,
yeah.
Check it out. You'll understand
Yeah.
what we're talking about.
Slightly
You'll
better
understand this
than melting
reference.
me softly,
Oh.
in my opinion.
Whew. Oh, really?
K2?
Healer.
Yes, that is sick.
Oh, Healer.
Healer.
Healer is the one.
You
He's
want
the
to
one
see
you
the
should watch.
Healer's
No,
the
I
one
bet
you
it's
should watch.
if we're,
But if you're
we're
gonna watch,
ranking
yeah.
shows with Ji Chang-wook.
Right? Oh, good
K2
lord.
is better than
All right, and then we had Vagabond.
Vagabond.
Yes.
Yeah. How?
Yeah, it's
And-
so fun. I watched one of the 2 episodes from this weekend,
Uh-huh.
also on Netflix. But even the evil masterminds are calling Lee Joon-gi wacko.
He's nuts.
He's nuts. He's so,
It's still relatively injury free.
Of course.
yes. Oh, yes. Because he was doing these
Teflon.
handstand push-ups.
Oh,
Such
wow.
a show off, that
Oh
boy.
my God,
Wow.
he's so hilarious.
Handstand push-ups. Come on.
Now
Yeah.
I did do a quick shout out to Twitter about whether I should get caught up on it. So I think based on what Twitter is saying, like everyone's
Yeah.
saying that I should. I'm gonna try this
Alright.
week to get
You
caught up
should,
for
but
next week.
I'm not sure you'll actually
I'm not sure
enjoy
I'm gonna
it.
enjoy it. But if I did Graceful Family, by God, I'll do Vagabond. So I'm on.
Why
it.
not?
I'm-
Why not?
yeah.
I don't think it's.
And
you're just gonna have too many questions.
I
You're just
do.
gonna be
I re-
raging at the screen.
I really do ask a lot of questions.
And also, Shinsung Rock is not. No. Although he and our good NIS agent are. They work together. They're a team.
Okay.
And so they have a secret chicken restaurant, and if you
sounds
call
familiar.
where they have allies, so if you call that restaurant and give the code Vagabond, then
No,
they will
shut up,
deliver
that's our
chicken,
title?
and that's how you can get secret messages relayed to other NIS
all right,
agents.
I will see. I will see
Vagabond
if
doesn't
I
sound like a
can.
menu item, but okay.
I will see if I can put.
Well,
my,
you wouldn't want to make it, seasoned chicken because
Because then-
you'd be
right.
confused.
That's true. That's true.
Right.
If you had seasoned chicken with a side of Vagabond. Then we'll know. It's kind of like
show.
the In and Out.
Deliver it
what
to
is
me.
what
Have
is
the
In-N-Out?
Vagabond
The
What is
menu,
off
the secret menu.
The secret
The
menu
secret
of
menu.
In-N-Out. It's what are they called? The French fries? They're
Animal
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 style.
style. That's what it is.
Yes.
It's like animal style French fries
Yes.
in and out. I'll take my
You're
French
welcome.
fries Vagabond style. That's hilarious. All right.
Yes.
I will do my best to turn my brain off and maybe get caught up. Yay! And then there's My Country,
My
which
Country?
I
How is
did
it?
watch.
I watched one of the 2 episodes this weekend.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You were out of town.
I was out of town.
I haven't
got one
done-
yet.
I
Marisa,
haven't
this is your
done-
boy.
No, I love this
I
show.
know,
I
right.
just literally,
She just literally had no
driving.
time.
Oh no! What? What is this
nothing.
pause?
I'm sorry. I have realized.
Pauses aren't
I
necessarily
have
good.
realized that the story I'm most invested in is Udong Hwan's story.
Yes.
And that's the story. Like,
Oh,
that's
him and his father?
No, just him.
Just him.
Like, just him.
Well,
and
sure.
Not because he's pretty, because he's
Oh
pretty,
my God,
super
he's
pretty.
gorgeous.
He was
watching
born
the
to
trailer a
be
lot.
in like these
Rose
this
with the
row-
hair.
Oh my God!
I gotta
Like,
say, the three of them with the long bangs, and they've all been doing like CFs, also
Yeah.
known as like fashion, like commercials, fashion
But
shoots.
right? It's he just looks like
Candy.
he fits the environment. Like I sometimes feel like
The era.
yeah, like I feel like Young Se Jung does not fit the is it
Young Sejong.
Jung, yeah. I feel like he doesn't like fit the era.
Oh, okay.
Like he doesn't really he doesn't
interesting.
blend in for me as much.
Well,
And so that's the
I have
thing.
to say, this is a terrible thing to say, but Woo Dong-won's a better actor, I think.
I do agree with you.
Yeah.
He's got more of that gravitas that I really enjoy.
He does,
And
because there's so much turmoil in
Yeah.
his heart, and
he
so
plays it
good.
so
He's
well.
so good.
So I feel like I realized that in whatever episodes these were, 5 and 6. Yes.
5 and 6.
I realized that I wanted more of him at all times because I
Yeah.
like what he's
You're more
doing.
interested in his performance.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because what he's going through with his father and how his strategery that he's trying to put in place with the king,
Yeah.
it's really
and I just
really well done.
And I truly do feel bad that he made one like immature, obnoxious adolescent error, and like his everything that brought joy to his life was destroyed.
Destroyed. Oh my gosh,
And it's
yeah.
just like, oh, Pumpkin, I'm so sorry. And there's nothing he can do to make up for it. So it just keeps compounding like
Yeah,
that. Like
I know.
the compound
It's more and
interest
more.
of it is just terrible.
terrible.
So I think that's what enjoy is maybe the wrong word, but that's what I find to be the most compelling and that I'm enjoying of the thing.
I'm hoping we see a little more of Jang Hyuk. I mean, there's all of this palace intrigue is good because he's such an amazing dramatic actor, but you know,
We do. I think we're starting to.
Action.
He was really heavy in episode 6.
Oh, good.
So we're starting to now find out his kind of role in all
Okay.
of this, and then the Young Se Jung's now how he
They
fits
come
in
together.
and start to come together.
Great,
So that's
great.
starting to happen.
he's an
yeah.
action star, Jang Hyuk.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
Well,
so good.
him running around like shooting things out of the air with his fan and like I was like you can tell he's having like the greatest time shooting it. It's hilarious.
So
Though I
good.
was really disappointed. Like he comes riding into the palace. I think it was the
Yes,
first
they did
riding
see
into the
that.
palace on the horse, and then they killed his horse.
Oh
and
yeah,
I was
they
like,
killed his horse.
you had to kill his horse.
Oh, it's a cruel time, right? A
I'm
cruel
like,
time.
Horse?
leave the horse alone, people. Oh, I was mad.
Yes.
I was mad about the horse. But yeah, no, you'll really enjoy episode
Okay,
6
good.
for sure. Oh yeah,
Alrighty.
yeah. And then there was Pegasus Market. So sweet.
It is.
I love it.
It's
I love
great.
it.
I was just more of an aw.
It makes me laugh every week.
Every week.
I would just laugh and laugh.
Yes.
and laugh.
Joel's-
Big laughs.
Oh, he's just.
Everybody was
I
bringing
love
it
him.
this
Oh, I
week.
know.
I
But
I
also
love
that
him.
Mission Impossible scene.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, I literally wrote that
can I
down.
just
I was like
dancing
that's
around the
hilarious. Mission
lasers
Impossible.
was-
LOL was my one note.
And I was like, oh no, if the waistband of his
Oh,
pants.
that's what I thought too. I
set
thought
off
like
the
a button was gonna catch it. Yeah.
And did you hear the little cat sound effect because he's like doing yoga poses? I was just like, oh
It's
my
hilarious.
gosh. So Park Ho-sun is the actor.
Yeah.
He's just
funny.
every time I just love him as like
Yeah.
the baddie.
Yeah.
He's just so and he's so
just-
bad at it.
He's so he's
and their
so bad.
and their chicken like masks that
Oh
they
my
wear
God.
every time,
They're
like no
restoring the
one's gonna
chicken.
see them. It's just
Oh my
like,
God.
what is happening? Like, why do you think these work? Like, it's just hilarious.
So ridiculous.
It's so
It's
ridiculous.
so funny.
It just is like, and
is.
that's really
It's
those are my
fun.
notes. Like, they're like I enjoyed their
Yeah.
like faux date that our two lead characters are faux date, but then she was like, I love her. I've realized that I love
yeah.
her.
She's
And
great.
what else
Great.
have we seen her
She's
in?
very subtle.
Moonlight Drawn by Clouds.
Oh, I
she was the
didn't see that
sister,
one.
like in a fat.
Oh,
They put
okay.
her in a fat suit for.
Oh.
Remember that? Yeah.
No,
I didn't see that,
I didn't
so-
see that one. I like her a lot. Like, I love the fact that she's like, oh, he likes me, and then she comes to the realization, like, oh wait,
Oh,
maybe,
he's nice to everybody. And she's like,
damn. Like, I just, they're
she's
just,
like, I'm not the type to figure things out
Yeah.
wrong, you know, or whatever. Yeah.
I really am enjoying their interactions and all of that. So yeah, I
Very
love
fun.
this show.
I have-
Like, it's a highlight of my week.
I have a question for us since we're all watching it. What is the story behind that statue? the two guys riding the horse on top of the market because they focus on it every single time. They make the horse. Now, I purposely have not investigated. I haven't read the webcomic for fear of spoiling anything.
Right.
But I'm so curious. There was like one mention of the statue and what it might have meant, and I don't think that was quite it. But I'm just like, because they look like, they look like a couple of naked guys riding a horse.
It does. It does look like
So I'm
a
just
couple
so
of Spartans on the back of a horse.
I'm just
for
so
sure.
curious what the
I
story
do
is
know
behind Pegasus and Pegasus
They
Market.
did mention how important this store is to the chairman's son who had died.
Yes.
So
that's
I wonder if it
right.
has something to. We'll find out that it has something to do with that. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. I just my big question was as I was watching the episode, I was like, oh, this is sweet. It was like rolling over. It was fun. It was the usual wacky stuff that's happening, and it was great.
Yeah.
And at some point, I was like, okay, yes. But then it got to the end with like the Mission Impossible, and then our two managers, our president and our manager, both had like this smile on their face. They knew exactly that they had screwed them up. I'm like, oh. I really wanted to know like what happened. I couldn't believe that they cut it off there. I
What
was like,
realization
super
did the
bummed
manager
out.
have that made him smile and to show the three of them in the end?
I feel like there was finally a coming together of our president and our manager.
Yeah.
And now they're officially a team. So
Yes.
I was really
Yeah.
I loved it. It's so good.
So good.
So good.
Yeah.
Ah, oh my god. And we have
Almost done.
one more. We do. Okay. The Lies Within, man.
How's it?
So good.
Oh, good, because I did not get to 3 and 4, but I did watch 2, because it's Saturday, Sunday on Netflix.
Right?
Love a show
and it
on
wasn't
Netflix.
up this morning, so I'm only through episode 3. It hadn't landed yet, and then I was binge watching Graceful Family, as I've mentioned. First and foremost, we have to give a shout out to the coroner in our show, right?
The Coroner.
The coroner.
Oh, yes. Oh, I love her.
She's
so great.
She's so great. I'm so happy to see her again,
Yes.
not in a mom role.
Yes.
She's
a mom
It's Yesu Jung, and she was the Search WW.
WWW, the head of, what's the name of the telecom?
Unicom?
Unicom. Yeah.
Unicom.
Not Unicorn.
Unicom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She was
That's great.
I love her so much. Like she came through the door as a corner. I'm like, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And so I'm so happy to see her.
Yeah.
And again, just Ethan Key is just so good in this role.
good.
Like he's so easy to watch and so enjoyable to
Yeah, he's smirking all the time. I
Oh
love
yeah,
that.
like I really dig it. I dig that he actually, again, like I said last week, like he actually knows how to interact with people. Like usually it's always him in this weird environment, and like weird boy is like trying to have a cup of coffee. It was like it's just, and so I just really enjoy it. But I will say once again, police work.
Oh, they're so incompetent.
Weird
like his
and-
young
weird
female
and
partner.
shoddy, yeah.
And it's just, completely shoddy. So it's kind of it's just a thing that you have to accept in drama land,
I do
right?
try to accept it, but there
Most
are
of the
moments where you're just
time.
like,
Yeah.
oh, things are going so well, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, right, I
Why did you
forgot.
do that?
That's right.
Yes.
But at the end of episode 3, I haven't watched episode 4 yet, so we haven't found out. We now have a foot.
Oh
Ew.
no. EU Young's husband.
We don't know for sure, but we're guessing that
suspecting.
because as she won the election, we all kind of knew
course
she
she
was
will.
going to, even though she was terrible at it. She was a terrible politician. She got thrown eggs. It was horrible. It was a horrible experience for her.
wow.
She did not own it. But
still got
so
elected.
she ended up getting elected, I think, on her father's name. Anyway, so she gets a text message as they're celebrating, and they're like, this mysterious entity, congratulations, we've sent you a gift. And then one of our bad guys who is escaping finds the box in the elevator and opens it, and it's the foot.
So I'm worried about EU Young's character, that she
Right?
is this easily manipulated, weak, hysterical, and because they're piling these horrible things on
Right.
her, she's gonna crack.
I feel like if she hasn't, and I say this because if she didn't crack this week, if she doesn't crack this week,
Yeah.
I think she's going to be formidable.
Okay, that's what I'm hoping for.
She'll
Yeah.
have the just no,
Because
like,
there's
I'm
just
not going to take it
there's-
anymore
yeah.
response.
Because there's a lot of. She's doing an amazing job with what she's being given as an actor.
Yeah.
But the script is really kind of starting to like paint her into a corner if they don't give her a way to kind of
Fight out of
Yeah.
it.
fight out
Yeah.
of it. Yeah, because they're now sending her husband in pieces, and
I
it's just
know,
like,
right?
"Ah!"
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
it's bad.
gross.
Not a show for Karen.
No,
Doesn't sound like it.
No.
no, but a really good
I
one.
look forward to your updates.
Yeah. if you enjoyed, and I said this on Twitter, but yeah, if you enjoyed Stranger, Secret Forest, definitely. This is very similar in that thriller aspect where you don't really know what's. Every episode is like,
Intrigue.
what? Oh my God, who? Why? Oh. Yeah. So I highly, highly recommend it.
All right.
And I'm gonna go home and watch episode 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whew. Another full week. Wow. Because they all are full these days.
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna hopefully start slowing down as we get into the holidays. So I got some shows I need to start binging or like rewatch. There are shows that I want to jump in there on, right?
And then VIP is beginning. Lee Sang-yoon, Jen's love for you is so.
True.
It's more like loyalty. I just don't even know what it is. I am cautiously optimistic based on the trailers, and I'm also terrified that it's just going to be terrible.
Oh no.
I understand.
Jen Nara makes good choices.
She does,
so,
and that's that. I'm clinging to that like nobody's business.
Yeah, and if it doesn't work, watch Go Back Couple.
I will. I know everyone keeps telling me to. See, that's on my binge list for the holidays, so I need to slow down. Oh my God. All right. Well, until next week when we can talk about. Oh my God. No, it's not next week. I can't talk about next week. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So soon.
Coming up.
Until then, we're the K3. I'm Jen.
I'm Karen.
I'm Marisa.
And you can check out any of our other shows we've got going. We got news, we've got astrology, we've got all sorts of
Final
goodness.
thoughts.
Final thoughts right over here. And we will see you next time. Bye.